Hey friends, today I'm going to offer a quick motivational life quote, and I'm going to give you a simple way that you can apply the wisdom and intention within this quote to your life, and in a way that can help you squeeze more passion, purpose, productivity, and fulfillment and happiness, hopefully, out of each day. It's true, or should I say, isn't it true, that great quotes become famous and appreciated because they succinctly provide great wisdom, comfort, and or advice. Well, today's great quote comes from the UCLA Bruins legendary former basketball coach John Wooden. Coach Wooden was voted by the International Coaching Association as being the single greatest coach of any and all sports for the entire 20th century. UCLA is my undergraduate alma mater, and I have taught leadership at UCLA for several years or more now. So I have a lot of history and affection for UCLA. One of my favorite John Wooden quotes is as profoundly instructional and wise as it is simple and brief in its words, and it goes, "Make each day your masterpiece." What is a masterpiece? When we think of masterpieces, don't we typically think of brilliant, legendary works of art? Works from those greats that we call the great masters. Masters such as Michelangelo, I don't know how you're supposed to say his name, Rembrandt, or Impressionists like Monet, Gauguin, and Van Gogh. Or we might think of great and legendary bodies of music from, again, classics like Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, Bach. Masterpieces are creations of beauty that stand the test of time. They're legendary expressions of a passion for life, and ones that move many of us, many people, to find and experience with greater love, greater peace, joy, the beauty in and of life, great meaning and fulfillment. The masters resonate with us on a deep and a fundamental level. Now, I bet if I asked most of you, few of you would believe that you have a masterpiece within you. And few of you would, I think, believe that you have the potential to be a master. But if this is true, that you believe this, I think you're selling yourself short. I think you grossly underestimate yourself. Now, your masterpiece may be different. But what is the definition of a masterpiece? Well, I'm going to tell you. You don't have to look it up. The first three definitions are: number one, a masterpiece is a person's greatest piece of work, as in art. Number two, a masterpiece is anything done with masterly skill. And number three, a masterpiece is a consummate example of skill or excellence of any kind. Now, with those definitions in mind, I'm going to suggest that you sit down for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or better yet, for 60 minutes. Ask yourself several questions. What is most important and meaningful to me? Is it my career, my education, my hobbies, children, artistic gifts, my business? Pick three things that mean the most to you in your life. Pick one thing from each of three categories, or three from one, whatever is most important to you. Keep it simple, though. So, for example, I'd suggest you pick one thing from your personal life: love, family, perhaps religion or friendship. Pick one thing from your professional life. And then pick one thing from what I'll call your growth life. And you're going to want to grow in your profession and personally too, obviously. But intellectual growth, educational growth, anything that's important to you. And for each of these three things, ask yourself, what would me being and achieving as my highest possible self look like? And what would it sound like? And what would it feel like in here and in my gut? What would it feel like? Listen to your answers. See your answers and feel them. Use your active, creative imagination to see, hear, and feel yourself, totally pushing past any modesty, any fear, and any and all doubt. See, hear, and feel yourself in each of the three scenarios, one at a time, not bungled together. Vividly, intensely, colorfully, closely, passionately and actively, see, hear, and feel yourself in your mind and body like you're watching an active, brilliant movie as you would look, sound, and be while you are in your world-class, most brilliant, legendary, and masterful self-being and activities in each of these three things. So throughout each day, also regularly ask yourself, what would my greatest self do now? In this instance, what would my legendary self say or do here? What would my masterful self feel and do here? If you do these few short, simple things, you'll soon find you've actively used your creative mind and brain, and you've invested energy and action into what most matters to you. So hopefully then other people will look back and find wisdom, solace, guidance in the way you lived your days masterfully, resulting in a great life masterpiece that meant a lot. So you have those few short steps. Number one, lay back. I suggest you meditate to calm and still your mind. Then one at a time, pick the three things that matter most to you. Vividly see, hear, and feel yourself as in an active movie you're watching on a movie screen of you personifying yourself, being the master of these three most important things, creating a brilliant masterpiece. Again, using myself as an example for clarity's sake, seeing myself on a movie screen being a masterful father, making a massive difference in my son's life, seeing it vividly, closely, brightly, brilliant colors, feeling the emotions, for me that means in my chest, of power, of relevance, of making a difference, of connectivity, of love, of mattering. So make each day, make each moment your masterpiece.